What If Wednesdays is back today with a TvP between Probe and Seither. And What If Wednesdays, for anyone who doesn't know, as we hop straight on into the very first map, is a live show. We get two pro gamers. Occasionally we'll have a personality or a semi-pro on as well, but they're always GM players. In this case, they are two of the absolute best players in the Australian scene. Both have qualified for WCS multiple times. Probe just made top 16 over recently in Austin. So yeah, spawning down here, it is OSC Roots Probe. Mr. Kempen, young Sean Kempen, a player who studies full-time and is kicking ass in the Australian scene. Like he's literally, he came back from Austin, got off his plane, went to uni and had to start working on assignments and stuff. Like this guy works hard. He writes guides. He actually hosts multiple tournaments, both LAN tournaments in Australia and as well as an online league. There's a thing called the Probe StarCraft League going on at the moment. So a real hero of the scene. And someone who, I don't know, I constantly feel like I need to step up my game to keep up with this guy because he's a badass. And his opponent, of course, up here in the top left-hand side, the mysterious Terran, it is Seither. Thank you so much for all the follows and stuff, guys. The one last piece of tech I did forget to fix up was actually turning those alerts off, so the YouTube video isn't constantly interrupted by the sound of Arnie talking about his pleasure when he feels the pump. Fucking day and night, man. Arnie's a happy dude, but we're gonna have to shut him down just for a little while. Make sure the people on YouTube aren't too triggered. And a nice little bit of Prober as coming in here nice and early. So guys, if you're not familiar with What If Wednesdays, what the hell is What If Wednesdays? Well, we're usually gonna run it on Wednesdays in Europe and America. First of all, if you're an Australian watching and you're saying, what the fuck, it's Thursday. Well, it's still Wednesday in America, so we're kind of going off that time. Trump is basically president of the world. He enacted a law. We've got to go by that time. And anyway, the whole idea is basically we play a match. These guys try as hard as they can to win. And then after, we get the loser on the call and we say, what did you do wrong? Because we're about to recover the game and you're going to choose a point to go back to and you're going to completely change up as part of your game to try and win. And that's exactly what we give them a chance to do. So it's a really cool chance for us to see how a pro gamer changes it up. They give us their little analysis of what they think they did wrong, how they can change it. And the guy who won doesn't get to listen to that call. He has to go into the next game, and the rule is he has to play the same style, same build, only allowed to react to things as he sees the changes that his opponent's made. So it gives us an opportunity to see what pro practice is really like. And this is what it's like, especially in Korean team houses, where you get players to play a certain build against you, you practice it out, and you get them to not just change it, change the meta every game, because you want to learn the perfect response to that situation, to that build, and repetition is the key there. So that's what we see here. Sometimes the winner just keeps on winning because they're just too good, or the loser's making the wrong responses or isn't executing right. So we get to see a whole gamut of changes here, and already straight off the bat, holy shit, Probe is kicking ass right now. This Probe's Probe killed an SCV, he's delayed the command center, he's brought the Reaper all the way home. The Reaper hasn't seen the tech, and by the time he gets over there, I don't even know if he's going to be able to get in. There's an Oracle already on the way, and this kind of forces Seither to play very defensively. It looks like he's actually going for a reactive factory opening, and I think he's going to be forced to just burrow one of those in each mineral line. If he goes across in the medevac straight away, I think this Oracle will come in and do massive damage. Oh, Reaper's going to try and dive on into the main base. He's going to see what he can see. Okay, he will see that Oracle pop out. At the same time, Hellions hit the natural already. One probe does go down. More probes starting to fall here. Oh, Hellions get a nice little lineup there. Good control from Seither. The Reaper did go down in the main base. At the end of that, 6 kills for a Reaper and 2 Hellions. Not a bad start. Probe there, not bad defense though. And he is going to counter pressure, and this is really important because there's no reacted barracks. Remember, there's very few units out for Seither right now. So even though he's got Widow Mines, he can't protect his production. He's got, what, a single Marine here? He's going to try and do some fancy Marine micro, but yeah, Probe is looking really good. This Oracle racking up the kills. 5 kills already, and there's just no response. He's going to kill these Marines as they pop out. Oh, Seither's in so much trouble right now. Nice. Yep, sets off the Widow Mine. Now the Oracle and the Adept have free reign. And this is pretty much game over. So this is cool, right? Because we're going to get to see how the hell does a pro gamer react when things go this wrong this early. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him react to the point where he lost the SCV building the command center, and he is going to change up everything from the get-go. He's going to say, okay, don't lose that SCV. That was a silly mechanical mistake. And I'm really curious if he changes up anything else as well. Viking has landed. There is a Widow Mine in there, though. You got to be careful. Oh, went too deep. He went for the lazy shift hold position. Micro on that Oracle. Does end up losing that one pretty much for free. But behind this, third base is down. Twilight Council is down as well. And shit is going to be awesome. Question from Silent in chat. He says, when is that hero unit replay thing happening? So he's asking about ICYFAR. ICYFAR is I cast your freaking awesome replays. And it's a show I do the day before What If Wednesdays. I do it on Tuesdays for you guys in America and Europe. And on that show, I cast your replays. And there's a weekly challenge each week. So to get your replay in and have it cast by myself, you've got to play the challenge. And the challenge this week is WARCRAFT. Basically, you need to treat all of your units like hero units and try to win with as few units as possible. So it's a really fun challenge, which kind of forces you to cheese the shit out of your opponent. You need to tech up hard and try to win with as few units as possible. There's no like set limit on how you go about that. So it's up to you to use your own creativity. We try to always leave it open to people's interpretation, how they want to solve the problem. And sometimes there's some really creative and weird ones. But my suggestion would be Thors, Lurkers, Disruptors. Rushing up to those sort of units and just trying to wreck your opponent nice and hard and fast is always a good place to start. So send in those replays. The information for that is in chat. It's also down in the YouTube description. If you open up the YouTube description, open up all the info. It's always in there. It might be hidden down the bottom, but the info is there if you want to know where to send those replays. So this game's pretty much over. To put it kindly, it's what we call a thorough thrashing. Probe is basically that fucking that cat lady who's got like the broom, and Seither is like some little puppy dog that's been frightening her cat, and she's just beating him in the face with her broomstick right now, and just like ah. Part of me was tempted to just be like, yo boys, we can already restart because this game is ogre. But Seither's going to come in with a little bit of Viking harass. He's going to land that in the back of the natural while hitting the front with a Marine Widow Mine timing. He should back off with the frontal timing, I believe, and just hope the Viking kills a few SCVs, since the Viking... I don't know, I kind of wish he kept the Viking alive to clear out the Prism later on. But yeah, he's just going to poke at the front. He's going to set up those Widow Mines. The Viking goes in, sees a cannon finishing, and he's like, nope, 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 get out of there. Oh, he's going to come in again, just on a different angle. Good, cute little reposition. Okay, Seither's going to get a few probes. Remember, guys, Vikings two-shot workers now with that plus mechanical damage, as long as the probes don't have an armor upgrade. But bad focus fire from Seither, only kills 2. Just a little bit busy focusing on his macro back home. And yeah, he's got to just kind of pull home and try to recover in the macro game. But Probe's already got a 4th on the way before the 3rd is even lifted. And I think this one's going to spiral well out of control. 9 gateways. Yeah. 9 gateway Adept Stalker Sentry is just going to wreck him. Nice. Nice drop there. But the Adepts are just going to kill the Marines a little bit too fast. Probe needs to focus fire those Marines. But a little bit too slow on that. Is going to lose the Warp Prism. Slightly sloppy there. At the same time, this Hero Marine. Yeah, fuck off, you stupid disco balls. Yeah, get out of here, you dickheads. Luckiest Marine ever. Luckiest Marine ever. This guy. Oh my god. You lucky, lucky guy. Holy shit. Well, yep, someone's suggested for the What If Wednesday challenge, sorry, the ICYFAR challenge of WARCRAFT. Well, you could just cannon rush. Hell yeah, man. Pull out Probius. Get your hero probe in there. And yeah, if you can win the game with the probe's a hero, right? Why not, man? I mean, he's from Heroes of the Storm. We can pretend it's Probius. Fuck, now someone's going to do that. I'm just going to be casting Planetary Fortress rushes and cannon rushes for weeks, aren't I? You guys. And Probe's just going to roll over the top. Not too much to cast here. Seither's just getting his mechanics warmed up. He did say he wanted to practice the build beforehand because I was a little bit delayed on starting the show, finishing up my coaching. He was like, oh, it's cool. I got a chance to practice my build. I'm warmed up. Unfortunately, just took way too much damage in the early game, and I really think he should have swapped the barracks back onto the reactor. He went for stim a little bit too early. Just needed more Marines. You need more mobile stuff. Didn't get enough done with his Hellion and his Reaper. The Oracle and the Adept counterattack just tore him apart. And Probe now, infinitely ahead, is going to be finishing this game off. Oh, when is the ICYFAR being done? No, that's always on the Wednesday. So that's, you've still got plenty of days, like 4 or 5 days or something like that. I'm bad with days, but you've got several days to send in replays for that silence. So you can send that in whenever, mate. All right, there we go. Seither's going to tap out. He just wanted to make sure. Now, the great thing is I can find the point in the replay really quickly. So now I have to call Seither, and we have to see what he has to say.
Hello.
Hey, hey, GG, man.
Yeah. Got dicked in
Can you just tell me, where do you think that game went wrong?
I'm guessing I'm supposed to do something different versus Stargate and scout it earlier.
Yeah,
probably go Viking first or something.
Yeah. You did lose the yeah, I think you need to go a Viking with this build, right? But you did lose the SCV building the command center as well. Was there any tilt there? How are you feeling after that?
Oh, it's fine. Just an SCV.
That's a good mentality, man. You're not like me. When I lose that SCV, I like break my keyboard. So just checking out your build. Cool little build order. Is this a TY build?
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Okay. Looked very TY-esque. Now, if you do build, so are you thinking, what do you think you'll go back to and change? Do you think you'll just
I think I have to scout the lack of Mothership Core or Stargate, and then just go straight Viking.
Okay.
And defend.
So I think that kind of went wrong, right? Because your Reaper got in so late, right? Because you had to pull back for the probe. So do you think rather than pull the Reaper home, do you just send an SCV or two down from the main and just keep the Reaper over on his side of the map? Is that the ideal reaction?
Yeah, or just SCV scout to start with.
Okay.
You can see if they skip Mothership Core.
So I reckon we go right back to like 2 minutes. It depends. We can restart the game from scratch if you want. Like from the very beginning, and you can SCV scout, or we can just go back to 2 minutes when your Reaper pops and you can choose to play it a bit differently. So 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. 2 minutes fine.
All right, let's do that. Awesome. Okay, let's do that.
Go.
All right, I'll get you guys in party. It's been a while since I've done this, so this is like the moment where I realize I didn't actually do a test run through, and like there's like a bug and we can't recover game, and the whole show just doesn't happen. But that did happen, I remember, with one patch when I had a show scheduled, and I was like, oh, we just have to cancel it. But it looks like everything's good. Recover game, 2 minutes. Oh, cool, they added it in a slidey bar for recover game as well. So 2 minutes, and awesome. We'll get right on in there. So just going to change that up so you're a little bit more aware of what's going on, and the game should look completely different. All right, thanks for being on the call with me, man. Good luck in game 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, my Discord just got a bit dirty there. I will close the Discord call in a second. Shit. I don't know what I did. What did I click on?
You've ruined everything.
I don't know what my Discord's pooping itself. Sorry, one sec. Oh, I just had to press escape. All right, good luck, man. Kick some ass. All right, guys, we're diving into game. Let's do this. I love this countdown as well. So we're restarting from 2 minutes into the game, guys, and we're going to see how Seither changes things up. So let's look at this from Seither's camera. And I'm actually going to try commentating from his camera now while we see how he changes things up to not get dicked on. That's the technical wording for what we're doing. So this is cool. This is the first regame. This has happened sometimes where it's like someone just gets wrecked and we just basically have to restart from the start. But it's cool to see his change up here is, okay, I need to realize there's a Stargate earlier so I can change my build. Cool. So instead of this time, he's just going to save that SCV. His Reaper's... Is he going to save that SCV? He is. Okay, we're back on his camera. Sorry, I went away from his camera for a second. High-level Terran players just like... there we go. Look at that. Bounces through. He's got the starport down. He brought down an extra SCV. Saves the SCV this time, and his Reaper scouts everything. Hey, there's no Mothership Core out. Hey, you've gone for a really fast Stargate. Okay, cool. Now I know to get out a nice early Viking from that starport. And that's going to really help him hang on here and everything can go awesome. We can see from his camera as he spams around his bases a whole bunch. Well, yeah, that too. So anyway, this should just make the game way cleaner. I wonder if he'll go Viking before medevac. And yeah, he's going to swap the barracks back onto the reactor, which, like I said, I think this is the wiser decision. Widow mines aren't that flexible. Getting out a widow mine to cover one mineral line is great, but the thing is, like, you can't shut down adepts with widow mines unless they choose to walk into your zone. So you want to have enough marines on the ground to actually contest against those adepts. So once again, we are going to see the 1-2 pressure. This time, Probe is a little bit better set up for it. So, I mean, this is obviously, he knows what's coming this time, and there is a bit of an advantage from that. It's not a perfect format, but only gets 2 probes this time. 3 probes. On the other hand, he's not going to get destroyed at home, so it should be completely fine. As long as you get like 3 or 4 probes, I think you're okay with this, because you get a good scout of what's going on. You always have the chance to just kill like a game-ending amount of probes, but this can work out really well. So let's go back to everyone's cam and let's cast this game a little bit more normally now that we've seen that Seither's stabilized quite well. Does lose 1 SCV, but ooh, is he going to pull away? There we go. Viking there, Marines there, Widow Mine there. Good job here from Seither. Oracle's going to not quite get 1 more kill. A little bit sloppy micro from Probe. If I'm going to be a bit critical, I think he... Maybe he didn't recognize where the Widow Mine was placed, so he was a little bit afraid to poke in. But I feel like he could have kept his movement in and out a little bit more. The trick with Oracle micro is to keep their acceleration going. If they stop moving, they take too long to start up. But as long as you keep them moving constantly, then you can always go into a Widow Mine range, and as long as you're watching, you can get them out by turning them around very easily. It's just if you ever let them decelerate into a Widow Mine range, that's when they get fucked up. Because you're like, oh, get out of there, get out of there. And they've kind of got to rev their engines for a little bit before they get moving. It is going to be a Forge and a Twilight Council behind this. Double Oracle opening. Does throw down a tag, does Probe. He's going to be able to see those Marines, gets shooed away by the Viking a little bit. He'd love to get a bit more damage here. And the Viking really is such a useful tool for helping to deny that. It's going to zone out this middle area. Is there a Widow Mine in the main base? Yes, there is. So anything popping out of the production and maybe some gas SCVs are really the target here for Probe. But with the Viking coming in, you've got to be very careful, and Probe's just going to have to back on out. So this time it's going to be a much more even game. 3 barracks are up, starport building medevacs, factory's got a reactor down. Next up on the menu for Seither will be a 3rd command center, and then some more gases, and then into double upgrades. Assuming he plays a macro style, and considering there's no like tech lab on the barracks, I'm pretty sure that's what we'll be seeing. 3rd CC, double gas, 2nd eBay armory. Hopefully I don't cast a curse it. We'll see, we'll see. Back here for Probe, healthy army. 3 sentries gathering energy, stalkers coming into the mix, blink being added in. Keep in mind, guys, that is before glaives. So really wanting the mobility to shut down drops rather than the frontal fighting power of adepts that throw their spiked frisbee as if they're bloody machine gun loaded or something like that. Stasis wards are down as well, using those oracles in multiple ways. Probe wants to get a little bit of map vision. Does have the revelation, does see the army moving out. Is going to tag it 1 more time to make sure he can't be surprised, and should be just fine to defend this. Now, this is a little bit scary for Seither. He's going to use that Viking to come in once again, but this stasis ward could kill everything. Oh, single Marine. Oh, it didn't go in. It didn't go into range. Okay. But yeah, he's just being very careful with this pressure. This is very relaxed from Seither. I like the way he's doing this. And yeah, if this Viking comes in once again, this could do some good damage. Remember, 2 shots workers, good adjustment on the micro, but the overcharge is on point. It's going to get shut down and no real damage for now. Seither, of course, when you're revelated like this, you're playing a high-level player like Probe, you know he's going to have enough units for your push. So you want to keep the threat out. You want to stay on the map so your opponent's worried about you dropping elsewhere. You know, he's kind of like, oh, you know, I don't know what I can really do here. This is a bit scary. But you do not want to overextend. Even though there's no Phoenix out, look at this number of Blink Stalkers. And actually, I think Seither's kind of overstayed his welcome already. But actually, with the double prong coming in, this could work out. Adept's moving out on the map. Probe wants to put the counter damage on, but he has no idea. And now, okay, this is just a distracting force, but Probe might be able to jump on top of it. Seither might have committed too deep. At the same time, he's running on the other side, but he's... Oh, his Widow Mines! His Marines didn't pull back. Oh, those Widow Mines could have shreked those Adepts. But now he loses most of them, and... While not a terrible trade for Seither, Just, you know, very good defense for Probe. Probe's still only on 2 gases, keep in mind. 4 gases, sorry, hasn't taken the gases on his 3rd. So the economy of Seither is actually better at this point. And as much as I keep talking about Seither needing to get damage done, well, does he really? I don't think so. He's ahead in economy now. He's up in supply. He's got a 2nd starport on the way. He can go towards ranged liberators, would be perfect against this composition. And all he really needs to do is defend and get a bigger army, because there is still no splash damage on the way for Probe. And Probe is playing a very Zest style. This is like early Legacy, just mass gateway units, lots of Stalkers, Adepts, and Sentries. And there we go, Widow Mines coming in, but there's a good Revelation on them, good force fields on the left-hand side, a couple of decent Widow Mine shots, but I think there might just be a little bit too much Protoss here, and Seither, oh, he really needed to pull SCVs in here to defend. Couldn't fight out in the open, needed to buy a little bit more time. You got to remember, I think he's only on 3 barracks production right now. He's still got more bio spilling out, and he's still got a lot of medevacs alive, but that's just such a critical mass of Adept Stalker, and with units being warped in 8 at a time. Yeah, I mean, he's just started building Liberators now, 4 Liberators, but it's a little bit too late. These units trying to micro, he's trying to pull in SCVs. He knows he's got to hold on now, or it's all over, but looks like Probe just manages to break him with this one timing. Seither not quite ready for that. And I'm really curious, how many did he get? So he was up at 5 barracks at that point, but those barracks, were they late? During that pressure phase, I feel like his barracks might have been a little bit late. We'll have to take a look. Of course, I'll give Seither a call and see how we go. Hey, GG's.
Hey.
All right, Imba Protoss has done it again. He caught you with that one timing. Do you think it was relatively even before he hit with that attack? Do you think things were going okay?
Yeah, it should have been, I think. Was it?
Yeah, you were slightly ahead in supply. He didn't take the gases on his 3rd. I'm not sure if you noticed that. So he was like, you know, really committed to that timing. No splash damage on the way. Right at the very end of the game, still no Templar Archives, still no Colossi Bay. So this was like a very crisp timing attack. Maybe if you pulled SCVs or had a few Liberators
I think I can just go 2 Liberators instead of 6 medevacs.
Okay, cool.
Because when I'm poking, I should notice he has a big gateway army, I think.
Yeah, he had a lot of Stalkers, so it's kind of scary, right? It's this kind of old Zest style. So I guess a good time, because I'm in this fortunate little rewind feature, so I can figure out exactly where we should try to restart from. So I guess after that whole pressure's resolved is when you choose to go up to 6 medevacs, I think. Or no, it's around that time. So you did pause production on your starport for a long time. Yes.
That's bad.
So yeah. So what happens, right, is you hit 6 medevacs at, I think it's about 7:20. Let's see. I'll find the exact moment. Okay, so at 7:40, you get 6 medevacs, and you restart production on your starport. So that was 7:40 when you stopped production. And you don't build anything until he attacks you. After he attacks you, a minute later is when he first hits. 8:40 is when the first fight starts. So you definitely could have had libs out then. So how about I go to just after the 6 medevacs pop?
Yeah, right.
About 7:30, 7:40. Now, I'll try to find a moment where you're not actually fighting each other. So I think 7:30 is like right before you went in with your pressure, which is obviously where your APM was kind of distracted a little bit. And I think you could actually do that pressure slightly better as well. Like all the Marines kind of died on the right-hand side. Do you want to go back to just before
some mines too?
Yeah, on the left-hand side as well, right? So we can go back to 7:30, and that's like right as your medevacs are going in. I'll go back slightly earlier than then, so Probe's not like jolted. I'll go to 7 minutes. I think that'll be the point.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, awesome. Let's do it. Okay, 7 minutes is like, yeah, you were poking around with your army, but you were revelated the whole time, so you were just kind of rotating between the kind of potential 4th and 3rd location. So awesome. So we're going to recover that game. And this should be good. All right, so I'll rewind 7 minutes. We'll restart from there. Good luck. Have fun, man. Okay, so I've just left the call there. We are going to be restarting right now at that 7-minute mark, and we're going to see how it goes. So he's going to try to not donate those mines on the left. His Marines on the right will try to pull back a bit, manage his pressure here a little bit better. But most importantly, he just wants to start that Liberator production. So what we're seeing here is, oh, he's like, you know what? If I just had some Liberators, I should have been able to hold on. It should have been a relatively even game, which it was. And hell, you could even say it was Seither favored, like if he defends there, right? Because there's no splash damage even started. He's already going up to double reactor. He's going to have a really strong Liberator push. Yeah. Awesome. So there we go. Got chat back up over on the right-hand side. If you guys have any questions, by the way, shout them out in chat. Use the @x5_pig tag. At the end of the show, I will be having both guys on. We'll have a discussion about the games. We can talk about what they think's Ember, what's not that Ember, what's kind of weak, what they did right, what they did wrong. And we'll try and answer as many questions as you guys have. So shout out your questions. Let me know. And